This week's guest is Dontae Mason.
Welcome to another episode of Firebirds Weekly. We are live on a Tuesday night from Cugino's Pizzeria, 240 Broadway in Rensselaer. My name is Adam Samarov, and to my extreme left is my co-host Chris Zipperly. Hello, hello. And in the middle is our esteemed guest today, fairly new signee to the Albany Firebirds defensive back, Dontae Mason. Dontae, how are we doing this evening, my man?
We're good. On a beautiful day.
Yes, it is. No, these are the days that you wait for.
Yes,
especially being up here from the Northeast. I mean, shoot, it's not 100 degrees and it ain't 18 below. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
So it's finally arrived. So we're out here enjoying the hospitality of Cugino's out here tonight underneath their tent, and it's nice to see the sun shine, man.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. You know, Lou's been really, really helpful to us, and you know, come out to his place. His pizza's really good, and you know, come out to his place. We definitely appreciate everything he's done. So a couple of updates before we really get started. Our raffle is ongoing. We are raffling off a 2025 Arena Crown Championship jersey, game worn jersey from last year's undefeated team. Tickets for that are $5, and you can purchase them at home games, including the one on Friday against the Michigan Arsenal. And you can go online, and there's a Venmo. Chris is doing his Venmo, so you can get tickets that way. Where are we about?
We are
all right.
So I was going to sneeze. That didn't happen.
I saved you looking at the guy weirdly on the bike.
No.
Flying by. Where are we at in terms of how we're doing so far for the raffle?
We're about a third to our goal. Our goal is 1,000, so we're just under or over like 300 or so. I have to recount it, but we're about right there. So we're right on pace.
Yeah, exactly. We have a couple more home games left, and then the drawing will be on July 11th during, I believe, the block party, if we're going to do a block party that day, or definitely during our show, we'll have the drawing. And then you can get it at Flock Support too. Let's not forget that. Those guys always help us out.
Yeah, it'll be good. Last year we did it on behalf. Well, same deal on behalf of Center for Disability Services. Sorry, I just read a comment that made me laugh. You'll see it.
Okay, I'll have to take a look.
Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Thanks, Lenny.
Center for Disability Services is what we're doing this.
Yeah,
for.
so they were on site. We did it the raffle live last year. Our intention is to do that again, but now that we're actually inside the arena, in the public. The atrium this year, it should be a little bit smoother. So I'm looking forward to doing that.
Right. Lenny, by the way, there's no balloons flying here, just for the record. Yeah, so we got the raffle, $5 a ticket, support it, support the Senator. We raised over 1,000 last year. Let's beat that this year. They do amazing work in the community. They're a big sponsor for the Firebirds. Definitely would, if you're going to spend your hard-earned money, do it for the Center. Opportunity Knocks, our series that we put out. We're right now working to edit the final part of the thing. It's called the Roundtable. Part 1, we just spent 2.5 hours editing last night, and it looks really good. And I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. And I think we're going to put out the first part here pretty soon.
Yeah, the hard part is there's so much good stuff in it.
Yes,
we start out at I think an hour and 32. We're down to 47 minutes or so.
Something like that.
We're getting there. But it should be good. And let's get to our guest. Yeah. Actually, let's talk about the defense first. Who this gentleman here is a part of that.
Well, I wanted to say that Coach Hobbs is part of our roundtable.
Yes.
And he's an excellent speaker. I will say that. So you're getting used to that, having Coach Hobbs.
So all right, so let's segue into that. Playing for Coach Hobbs. I mean, you've been playing professionally for more than a couple years. What's his style, and what makes you gravitate for playing for him?
Coach Hobbs make playing fun. He breaks it down to where you could play fast, and you don't have to really nothing to think about. So he makes it fun and makes it allow you to play fast.
So we want to kick this conversation off about talking about the defense. So we went through and we put some plays together, just a handful of plays, and then we're going to kind of lay out, how the Albany defense kind of ranks amongst the league. So we're going to roll that here, then we'll get into the individual numbers.
Davis is the motion man. Pass. Oh, is it intercepted? Drew Singleton This time he's able to hang on to it. And that is a big game-changing play from one of the best defensive players in this league, Drew Singleton, with the interception.
Quarterback for Oceanside just can't find spots, and all of a sudden he's stuffing 20-plus points unanswered after that. Swung the momentum of that game.
Wilkerson, they fake the handoff, McBride, and he's taken down by Marlon Bradley.
Consecutive pass without interception streaks come to an end.
So maybe a spark for Beaumont. Forget about it. Helmet goes flying and into the end zone. Down goes McBride. Boy, oh boy.
So there's a taste of it.
First off, the first question I want to ask is, what is it like being in the same defensive room with Drew Singleton, who's probably going to be Defensive Player of the Year if he keeps doing what he's doing?
It's a blessing. Being surrounded by everybody, honestly. The guys, they work hard, they dedicated, and I was just talking to a couple of players at dinner. Being surrounded by a bunch of dogs make you gotta rise to the occasion. You gotta be a dog. So being around Drew would definitely make you up your game.
You guys pitched a shutout in the second half. Really, it was almost three quarters. They scored their last points with like 10 minutes left in the second half. Are you thinking of that during the game? Oh, hey, we haven't given up any points. And if you do, is it like something where it's like, okay, like almost like a pitcher throwing a no-hitter and you don't want to be the one that screws up behind him? You know what I mean? Like, is it kind of like, I don't want to be the one that gives up the points? You think like that, or is that something you think about afterwards when you're watching it?
Nah, like you really just think about doing your job, doing your 1/8, and then also like making the play that you're in better than your last play.
Mm-hmm.
You want to make every play better than the rep before, So the coach always say, one play at a time. It's literally one play at a time. You can't get to the next play without the play in front of you.
Right.
So
you can't get to the 1-2 plays before the next one.
Exactly. You got to crawl before you walk.
That's right. Yep.
So it's definitely a process.
So we talk about you have obviously Hobbs being your position coach, but Coach Cisse as the defensive coordinator. I maintain that he could still put on the pads now. Some people will say he can't, but I think he could. Hobbs could too. But what is it like playing for Coach Cisse? He's such a fiery guy. Obviously loves the game and really does as much as he can to support all you guys on the field. Just talk about playing for Coach Cisse and what that is for you.
Energy. He brings energy, and they believe in you. So for them to believe in you, you got to believe in yourself. And it makes you rise to a different type of occasion. Again, like I said, being surrounded by dogs make you got to rise and be a dog. And it starts from the leader. If the coach is a dog,
right,
you gotta follow suit.
So how does it work for you? I don't want to say you're platooning at DB, but what is that dynamic like? Because your first game, I believe you started. That was a combination of things, I'm sure, in terms of health and things of that nature. And then you're in pretty much the second half, maybe second quarter, I forget. But you spent, kind of going back and forth. How do you approach that to make sure that you're, game ready and in the moment?
Staying locked in. Coach Hobbs always say, make sure you locked in. Stay locked in. Stay locked in. It's just knowing your role. Sometimes your role might not be a starter.
Right.
Sometimes your role might be making plays on special teams or being that person, the hype man. Whatever your role is, do it exceptionally well.
Yep.
Do it with a smile on your face, but do it with the reason behind it.
Right, with real intention. I got a question for you, and I'm sure you've heard this a bunch since you've been playing. But who taught you how to tackle? And you were right up there with the surest tacklers his team's ever had.
My dad.
Yeah, okay.
Really, serious, because I was always little. So
yeah,
he always taught me, you can't run without no legs. So
yep.
I always was taught legs and then gator roll.
Mm-hmm.
So and then it kind of stuck with me to this day.
Yep. I used to tell the guys when I used to coach, and I know this sounds silly, but I used to say hugs before hits. Like if you don't wrap up, the hit doesn't mean anything.
Exactly.
So like as wimpy as it may sound or may look like, you hug the dude, you
He's
won.
going to the ground.
You won.
There's no chance.
So it's really about having, for lack of a better phrase, possessing the tackler.
Yeah.
Or sorry, not the tackler, the ball carrier.
Yeah.
Like to me, that's that. I think you do a nice job of both those things.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Well, we, doing the research, we saw that you started your career on the offensive side and then switched to the defensive side. We'll get into that, but I wanted to, we want to talk about, where you came from. You grew up around the Philadelphia area.
Yes, sir.
I believe the 215 or something. I can't remember that.
215.
Am I right about that? I don't even know.
And he's super sick of fresh principal there. Super sick.
There we go. Just talk about growing up around Philadelphia and playing football. Were you involved in like the Pop Warner leagues, or when you were real little, or was it more like getting into school, to play football?
So I grew up in North Philly. Playing football, I played for the Ox Circle Raiders, and it was called the NESAC. Now it's like the AYF Pop Warner.
Okay.
Because in Philly is like broken down in different leagues. It's Pop Warner, Keystone, NESAC. You got different leagues.
Right. I mean, obviously you got tons of people. Philadelphia's a major city, of course.
Yeah. So I grew up playing Ox Circle. I played running back and I played middle linebacker. And then I went to Bishop McDevitt, where I played high school football, and then I then played for Lock Haven University, then transferred over to Delaware Valley University.
Yeah. So staying in PA for most of your football career. Talk about playing for the Catholic high school and stuff like that. I don't remember. I know in New York it's separated, but is it separated in Pennsylvania, or is it all together with the public schools?
It's separated. You got your Catholic schools, you got your public schools. But then when you get to the district championships, that's when most likely your Catholic school will play your public school for districts.
Okay.
To go further in states.
And we talk to guys. We have guys from Texas. We have guys from Florida. That kind of thing. And we talk about how the football is so much different down in the southern states than it is. Pennsylvania's got probably number one when it comes to the Northeast. Talk about playing in Pennsylvania and the Philadelphia area in terms of how good the football is.
It's talent. It's talent. The only thing is I can honestly say is the talent is not always seen, but it's a lot of talent in the Philadelphia area.
Tell me about going through high school, like your senior year, and tell me about.
Take a break for a minute.
What happened?